The SimZone's Season 8 GT3 Championship, powered by MOZA Racing. The championship consists of 8 weekly rounds, starting in Watkins Glen, New York, and ending in Brands Hatch, UK. At the end of the season, the winner of the championship will receive the MOZA Racing R5 bundle. The R5 bundle includes the MOZA Racing R5 direct drive wheelbase with 5.5 Nm of peak torque. The MOZA ES steering wheel with 22 programmable buttons. And the SRP light racing pedals, made of high-strength steel. Founded by automotive engineers and sim racing drivers, MOZA is a leading innovator in camera stabilization systems and vehicle stability technology. MOZA Racing released their first sim racing product in 2021, and since then, there have been a variety of products for the pros and for home. MOZA Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. MOZA Racing has also received numerous positive reviews. Here are just some of them.
Welcome back to the SimZone, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for round 7, the penultimate round of the MOZA Racing GT3 Championship, and we are at Kyalami once again. This time it's dry. We were at Kyalami not long ago. Well, for PS5 we were at Kyalami last time, and we were at Kyalami in the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship as well. But yeah, it's quite a popular track, and we are back here once again, which is lovely to see. And currently Boothby on pole here, provisional pole with a 140.085. It is a fast track, and I believe we've seen 39s on a fast track as well. Just bear with me one moment. Alright, so yeah, Boothby currently on a provisional pole there, 2/10 quicker than DeCampo at the moment, and well, he's finished P1 in every single race in this championship so far. So, well, if he takes a win here, it's pretty much him taking the championship lead, a championship win, and yeah, he will be going into the last round already with the win. And will we see him do a last to first maybe in the last round? I think that may be a bit more exciting for him, but and for us to watch how he gets on. But DeCampo currently in P2 here. We know the Porsche is rapid at Kyalami, only 2/10 off. Boothby back out on track. DeCampo not up for an improvement just yet. We look down to P11, Van Hoorn, who is coming across the line there, up into P11 once again, does improve. That last lap was a 141.907 there from Van Hoorn. Looks like he's just been dropped down to 12th. Curtin in P11, who is the other Astro Racing team member as well in the Aston Martin, who is on a 141.880. Looks like DeCampo has improved that time around. He's improved by a 10th, so that last lap from DeCampo was a 140.207. Really quick lap there from him as well, but there's more in it, I'm sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back out on track. Vining in P3 at the moment in the Honda as well. Only 6/10 off. In fact, I thought that was matching lap times with Cosford. It's not. They're very, very close. They're only 400 separating P3 and P4 at the moment. We've got today in P5, Michael Thomas in P6 in the Audi there. But look how many Porsches are at the top here, or in the top 10 even. The Audi, another good car at Kyalami as well, but you don't really see many drivers in the Audi. We've got Whitburn in P15, also in the Audi, and Pryor in P17. Let's look further down. We have a few qualifying bands here for this round as well. Poulin currently in P24. His last lap was a 146 flat. Clayton in P23 at the moment. He's 2/10 up. We look towards Barone, who is 4/10 up this lap. Well, I thought the cameramen were... they're not too bad, in fact. But he's coming towards the end of this lap. Up towards, I believe it's Cheetah. And then up to the final corner. They're staying well clear of the sausage curb on the inside. 6/10 up as he rounds the final corner. 8/10 up, in fact. And he's kept it together. Let's see where this puts him as he crosses the line. It's going to be P14 there for Barone. A good improvement that time around. Let's look back towards Boothby, who is on a lap here. In fact, let's go on board. Coming through Sunset Corner now, and well, the sun's already set here, so not really much they can see, but a bit squally on the exit. Oh, that's going to cost him some time there. Looks like he's not up for an improvement anymore. Coming to the S's and up towards the hairpin. A bit of a lift there from Boothby. Wasn't quite confident on the exit. We can brake really late into this hairpin, trail the brakes, and early on the power as we go down the hill through Mineshaft, then up towards Crocodiles. This is a tricky braking zone. We've seen lots of drivers miss their braking zones here on the PS5 Championship as well. Onto the brakes there goes Boothby, using a bit of the inside curve, and on the outside you can pretty much straight line this section. Aim on the curb, avoiding the sausage curb on the inside there, and using all of the curb on the exit. Oh, but Boothby nearly accidentally going into the pits there. Doesn't look like he'll improve after that mistake. So he stays P1, but no improvement. Thomas now coming through Mineshaft. 4/10 up for Thomas. This is going to be a brilliant lap here for Thomas. And it looks like we've had another driver just improve there. Borman in P3 now. Let's see what Thomas can do on the brakes. Once again, rolling through Crocodiles here. And coming through Cheetah up towards the final corner. Looks like he's lost a bit of time as well through that final section of the track. But through the final corner, was he a bit deep? I think he may have been. Still 2/10 up is Thomas as he crosses the line. It's going to put him to P3. Nevertheless, great lap there from Thomas. Today is currently in P7, also 2/10 up, and this could put him, well, in P3 as well. So we'll have to see what today can do. Let's see, coming up towards the final corner, still 2/10 up. Will he find any more time as he rounds the final corner? Looks like he's found the 10th, and this is possibly going to put him in P3, or it might, well, it's definitely going to be P3 there for today. And there we go, 4/10 off of Boothby, the top two. Once again, very, very close. They've been battling throughout the season at most of the tracks. Let's see if DeCampo can take it to Boothby today once again. Now Borman coming up towards the final corner. Looks like he's got some traffic in front of him, but he's still up for an improvement as he exits the final corner. 2/10 up. In fact, he's got a bit of a slipstream from the Aston Martin in front, and it's going to be P3 there for Borman. The top three separated by 3/10, and the top, well, 9 separated by just over a second here. And let's have a look at Vining now, another Honda driver in the top 10. In fact, the second Honda driver in the top 10. We've only got 2 Honda drivers here out on track, I believe, today. There's quite a few drivers that aren't able to make it, but nevertheless, we still have, I believe, 28, 29 drivers on the grid with us. And let's have a quick read of the championship standings as well coming into this round. So coming into this round is, of course, Boothby leading the championship. If the standings would like to load, that would be lovely. There we go, Boothby leading the championship on 530 points. And as I mentioned before, has taken win after win after win. And it looks like Vining has just put it into P3 there once again. So a great lap from Vining this time around. But yeah, Boothby leading the championship on 530 points, followed by the Campo on 471. So not a huge gap between those two. And of course, we still have the drop round to take into account. But with 6 rounds won for Boothby, I don't think anyone's going to take that away from him, even if he finishes horribly this round. But Yezi in P3 on 450 points, but I believe he's not here today. So Thomas in P4 on 412 has a good chance of scoring some decent points here this round. Vitboot in P5 on 403 points. We have Giovanni in P6 on 399, Chris Vining in P7 on 351, Cody Cosford in P8 on 348 points, Warman in P9 on 345 points, so only 3 points there separating P8 and P9, and then to round off the top 10, Walker on 320 points, and looks like Boothby there has put it into the 39s just about. Track has just gone optimum, in fact, and the Campo is 4/10 up as we come up towards the final few corners. This could be pole for the Campo. This is perfect timing here for him. Where is Boothby, in fact? He's still going around the circuit, but 5/10 up for the Campo as he exits the final corner. This is going to put him on provisional pole. Is the Campo, and there we go, a 139.752 there for the Campo. Where is Boothby? Coming through the S's now. Can he find any more time? He's going to be in the final sector very, very shortly here. And this is his last lap to improve. He needs to find another 2.5 tenths here in this last sector to take pole from the Campo, and doesn't look like really any other drivers are for any improvement. So this is pretty much the last driver we're going to watch, Boothby here in P2. But even so, coming up towards the penultimate corner, he's not up for an improvement. He exits the final corner onto the grass, and I think that's it for Boothby. It's still a valid lap, but he's not going to find any time here. In fact, he might find a 10th. No, doesn't look like it. So there we have it, ladies and gents. The Campo P1, Boothby P2, and Vining P3. We'll be back very shortly for the start of the race, so make sure to stick with us. Well, here we go, ladies and gents. We've got the drivers lining up on the grid here. We have a formation lap like usual. So just going to see the drivers on the formation lap now. It is dark. In fact, 2 AM here. There we go. DeCampo off now. And yeah, you can't really see much, but luckily the cars have headlights. And that's pretty much all you need to light the way up in front of you. But yeah, common thing with sim racers, they don't like the dark for some reason. Now whether that's because they haven't eaten enough carrots, I don't know, but yeah, here at the SimZone we do have a few night races. You definitely have to have your carrots beforehand. And there we go. So it is DeCampo who took pole in Quali, Boothby in P2 and Vining in P3. Hoorn there sitting in P4 at the moment. So it's pretty much Porsche, Honda, Honda, Porsche, Porsche, Audi, Porsche, 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 and then Aston in the top 10. And pretty much, well, no surprise there that the Porsches are at the top because they are on another level at this track. But yeah, it is quite dark even though we have headlights. But it doesn't matter because as long as the drivers can see where they're going and as long as we can see the cars, that's the main thing. We've got a few comments coming in. Let's have a read of them. So yeah, good to see everyone. Make sure to like the stream and sub if you're new as well. In fact, before we get going, we need to put on the subscribers only so we don't get the bots in the comments. There we have it. So let's have a quick read of some of the comments then. We've got Jan saying he likes driving in the dark. In some races he can see the stars and the moon. Cody saying he can see Boothby from the Netherlands in that livery. Yeah, it stands out. It definitely does stand out. What other comments have we got so far? Just everyone saying hello, really. Nothing beats sunrise in Bathurst, says Zikrai. Yeah, sunrise at Bathurst is really, really nice. Good, nice. Good to see Kenny, Lord Pro, Humble Racer, Cascanova as well. Now the drivers are lining side by side, but before we get going, we're going to get a quick track walk here at Kyalami. Just a very, very quick one. Now, some of these corner names I have no idea how to say, but the easy ones I will say. So well, this is pretty much turn 2. That kink in on the start-finish straight is counted as turn 1. But yeah, the sunset corner is probably my favourite corner on the circuit. Then we go down to the S's, into the hairpin, all the way down mine shaft, then into sector 3, then through Crocodile, then up towards Cheetah, probably the most difficult corner on the circuit, then rounding the final corner to complete your lap. And Kyalami, definitely one of the best circuits we've got here at the moment. There we go, drivers lining up side by side, perfectly timed for the race start. Now, the Porsche, we know, is really good off the line. It's got some great acceleration, so let's see if DeCampo were able to hold on coming into turn 1. There we go, we are green now. You see that all the green lights up at Barth, and looks like DeCampo has got a good start, but oh, almost 3 wide in the background in the start-finish straight. Very, very wide here, so the drivers can go 3 wide, but they have to stop back into 2 wide here coming into turn 1 and turn 2. And looks like DeCampo holds on. Boothby being hassled behind by Vining here already, and Borman up a position, all being bumped there by his teammates today, and they both run slightly wide. And looks like we've got a car off on into the wall. I think that was today into the wall there, and he's dropped down the order as a result. Thomas is currently in P5 on the back of Borman here. We've got Vitroot in P6, and what a shame there for I believe it was today. Let's have a look where today is. Currently in P9. He's got going. Yep, it was today. He's got going again, but you can see he's got a bit of damage on the front of that Porsche. Now battling with Cosford, and look at the amount of cars we've got going up towards the hairpin now. And it looks like, well, the rest of the pack in front has pulled away, and the Mercedes onto the curb, onto the grass as well. A bit squirrely on the brakes as a result. Walker there in P10 holding on In fact, P10 in the championship and holding on to P10 in the race as well. Looks like the Mercedes with a good run down the inside coming through Mineshaft. He's not going to get that move done just yet, but coming onto the brakes here through Crocodile. Looks like Walker just about holds on in front. That is one of the Audis. Whitburn up into P7. He started P13. He's gained 6 positions off the start, so what a start there from Whitburn. Looks like Bilotti's dropped down the order as well. He doesn't seem to have any damage, but he may have lost the car somewhere on the circuit. Go back to the race leader. DeCampo and Boothby going side by side here, coming up towards turn 1. Boothby going for a switchback. It might actually work there side by side, and Boothby's going to have the inside. Is he going to be forced onto the sausage curb? No, he's not. And looks like he's going to get that move done. DeCampo trying to hold it around the outside, but dipping a wheel onto the grass, and Boothby up into P1 already. So DeCampo not able to hold him off for long. And Vining here currently holding onto P3 as well. These three have pulled away from the drivers behind. Borman not far behind. He's about a second back. But these three in front are definitely pulling away. And Vining, well, hasn't had the best of races this season so far. But I think this could definitely redeem them all. Especially if he's able to bring home a podium. It looks like he really enjoys this track or really gels with it. But let's have a look further down the field. We've got so many battles going on. I mean, who do we look at this point? Let's have a quick look at today. He's currently in. Where is today? He is currently in P10, and Walker's up to P9. In fact, so he's gained a position there. But he's now fending off Giovanni and P11. We go back to the top 2. Well, they're still very, very close. Now slightly pulling away from each other on this lap. That last time around, Boothby was 7/10 quicker than DeCampo. So somehow, Boothby's found some more pace at the start. Maybe DeCampo making a slight mistake, but we're not sure yet. We just have to give it some more time. And now looking further down the grid as well, we've got battles going on for P18. Kennedy currently in P18. He started P19, so he's gained a position here, but 2 cars down the inside into turn 1. Looks like that's Seeley and Barton on the inside. Kennedy forced to go wide there to avoid them, and down into P20 goes. Kennedy's now got I believe that's V's down the inside of him, and he being a bit swamped here, and now that's Barone who follows through as well. So Kennedy losing a lot of positions here in a couple of corners, but he's still running well. P22, and there's still so much time left in the race. Obviously, we have had a few drivers with quali bound, so they'll be starting out of position anyways, and Barone running slightly wide there. Kennedy thought about making a move, and we've got a car off there in the background on the secondary screen. I believe it was today making contact with Giovanni. But Giovanni, oh, we've got another few cars off. That's McFarquhar there and Christian Osh off the track through the S's. But they've got it going once again. Osh dropping down the order though. He has had a horrible accident as Osh. Has he got much damage? He's got a bit. Doesn't look to be too much, but he has really dropped down the order. Has Osh. We quickly flick back then to the top 2. Look at this. Boothby already with a 1.5 second lead to DeCampo, and I think well, that last time around 139.9 for Boothby, a 140.8 for DeCampo. He hasn't been able to lap what he was doing in quali. Boothby lapping pretty much the same as what he did in qualifying. Obviously it's now an optimum track. Yeah, DeCampo not the best start to the race. He is slowing down and falling into the clutches of Vining now. Vining's got a good chance for a P2 this race. It's still early doors. I don't want to put the curse on anyone, but he's running extremely well here. Walker now right in the back of Codsford, challenging the Porsches. The Aston is a great car at Kyalami as well. I'm not surprised to see it in the top 10. Van Hoorn in P10 now as well. They've moved up quite a few positions. Curtin's lost the car. Oh no, he's facing the wrong way as Curtin. We've seen a few drivers lose it there on the exit. It's so difficult. If you dip a wheel onto the curb or onto the grass, it pretty much shoots you off into the wall, and that's probably what's happened to Curtin. He's got some severe damage now, but I think he might be able to hold it or drive through the damage until the pit window opens, just to minimize the time lost. Let's go back to Giovanni. He's got on board with him, in fact. On board with Giovanni. He's got Traction Dave in front of him, and he's looking for a move around the outside. Dave going defensive on the curb is the the Mercedes. Tries for a move, but it's not going to work now. Coming up towards Cheetah. It's like everyone missing that sausage curve on the inside. Dave dipping a wheel onto the grass. Now through the final corner they go. The Mercedes is going to have such a run. Porsche gets the better acceleration out of the corner, but the Mercedes has got the legs on the straight. Look at the closing speed already, and they're halfway down the straight. He's going to look towards the inside. We're going to go trackside here. Giovanni with a move down the inside, late on the brakes, but Dave tried to hang it around the outside. Doesn't look like he will be successful. Oh, there we go. Giovanni up a position. There's nothing really that Dave could have done there. Just had to hang on and maybe try and follow Giovanni through now to get a move done on today. Another Porsche in front, and you can see who is in the background. That's Seeley in the background there, who has caught up. He started, of course, at the back of the pack in P27 due to his qualifying ban. He's already up 13 positions, and I believe that's the most gained this race so far. So Seeley with the most positions gained this race. Now let's have a look at Michael Thomas in P5. You see the gaps there on the screen as well. In fact, Seeley's still really close. We're going to have to switch back to him. He's side by side here with Dave. He's going to try it around the outside through the hairpin. Dave hanging on just about. He's lost a lot of time as Dave to Giovanni just in front. But Seeley, is he going to have a run coming through Mineshaft? He's on the inside. Porsche of Dave going to try and hang around the outside once more. And can he hold it coming into Crocodiles? Looks like he's still there. Seeley a bit deep on the brakes, and they're still going to be side by side here coming up towards Cheetah. Someone's going to have to back out. And no, they're going to go side by side once again. And oh, Dave flying into the air on that sausage curb, and look who's going to come through. That is one of the Audis. That's Pryor. He's taking advantage of those two battling. Up into P13 he goes, capitalizing on that mistake from those two battling. And we've got a good view of this battle just behind. Let's switch to Thomas as well on our second screen if we can find him. Yes, we can. There we go. Thomas running in P5 at the moment, battling with Borman in P4. I just read the comments. Jan saying, oh no, Ocean Lord Farquaad. That's brilliant. Paul saying he was in the Wednesday IMB Raceway Championship as well. Yeah, he was. He is. Looks like Fry's been able to pull away now from Traction Dave, and well, now Farquaad's caught up. So we've got P14, P15 and P16. Where's Seeley gone? Oh, sorry, Seeley's up into P13. I didn't catch that while I was reading the comments. I need a third screen here. Can't do it all at once. I need some more eyes, in fact, and some more arms to help me out with what's going on. Lee, I know you've been abducted by aliens this morning. Bit of an inside joke, but yeah, please get in touch. Well, get me in touch with the aliens. I can get some more hands to help me out. Looks like Boothby's pulled away 2.5 seconds now to DeCampo, and DeCampo's pulled away about 2.5-3 seconds to Vining. Now Vining losing some time now to Borman and Thomas. Vining lapping in the 141s, Borman and Thomas in the 140s. They're really closing the gap now to Vining, and he may have to start thinking about defending very shortly here. Let's have a look now. How many battles we got going on? Oh my god. We've got Walker still in P9. This is a different Walker to what we have on console. But Ryan Walker putting on the pressure to Cosford. Is he going to look for a move? No, he's not. This left-hander after Sunset Corner. Quite a tricky section of the circuit. As I say that, Cosford goes wide. Sparks flying from the Porsche as they go through the S's now. And Thomas there, still on the back of Hoorn, keeping him at bay. But they are lapping very similar lap times at the moment. They are closing in on Vining, as I said. As you can see, on board with Walker. Just a quick fact for you guys. You see the blue lights and the purple lights in the cockpit. That is mainly used for the drivers not to fall asleep in longer races. It's pretty much their endurance lights that they use. And yeah, that blue light avoids them, well, helps them at least, falling asleep behind the wheel. Especially in endurance races, or at least getting fatigued behind the wheel, I should say. So if you didn't know that, that's your fact of the day. Go to sleep after this stream wiser. We look to Giovanni now. In fact, I don't think we should look to Giovanni just yet. This battle is still very intense, and it's now Whitburn, followed by Cosford, and then Walker. We're going to have to go on board here with Walker to get a view of this battle. So yeah, Walker still just sticking with Cosford. He hasn't really had a chance to go for a move. Cosford using a lot more of the track on the exit now. Helps him pull away here, coming up towards the S's. And a much later apex there for Cosford into the S's as well. He doesn't seem to take much curb going through there. Walker's got a bit of a run here, coming up towards the hairpin now. Not close enough for a move just yet. These GT3 cars, they love spitting flames. It's great to see, especially in the dark. We've got the pit window opening very shortly in about 6.5 minutes. Sparks there flying from the Audi in front. And they're coming up towards Cheetah. Let's see if they can all go through cleanly. It's very difficult to follow someone going through here because you can't see a thing. Pretty much down to track knowledge and judgment when you're following someone really closely. And a good exit there for Cosford, but Walker going slightly wide there. Could he have picked up a track limit warning for that? Not sure, but you can see the amount of time he's lost now as we go down the start-finish straight, coming up towards turn 1. Cosford though losing time on the straight as well to the Audi, but look how much later he can brake into turn 1. That's the good thing about the Porsche. He can brake so late. Walker slightly wide there, missing the apex, and the Porsche in front. Cosford dipping a wheel once again onto the grass. We've seen so many drivers lose it there, not just on console, but not just on PC, but on console as well. Looks like we've got yellow flags out. Who is that for? Yellow. Oh, Donata Kasinskas has lost the car somewhere. He's got it going once again. But is that coming up towards the final corner? Yes, it is. So I think he may have lost it coming out of Cheetah. That's the corner we're talking about, the most difficult part of the circuit, in my opinion. And we can see there, that is Thomas, who's only a couple tenths off the back of Borman still. Let's quickly switch back to, that battle we were watching with... Oh, we've got another battle, in fact, for P11, Seely. We've got Seely, Van Hoorn, and is that Giovanni as well? Van Hoorn defending P10, Seely up into P11 now. Giovanni there in the Mercedes just behind, trying for a move, and they're being caught now by today Traction Dave and McFarquhar not far behind either, and Seely with a look down the inside there. Van Hoorn defending well, but he is in a bit of trouble, is Van Hoorn, because Seely is lapping a second quicker in terms of pace. Van Hoorn there slightly wide on the exit. Looks like Seely got a much better exit, and Van Hoorn's going to have to start defending here, possibly early on as we come down the start-finish straight up towards turn 1. Seely's going to have the slipstream, the draft. It looks like Van Hoorn going defensive, but it's not going to be enough. He pulls back over to the racing line. Seely down the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Looks like he tries, then he pushes Van Hoorn slightly wide, but that looked very fair to me. And Seely up a position into P10. Giovanni's going to follow through as well. Looks like he's going to poke his nose down the inside. Contact between the two. And Van Hoorn, luckily, didn't hit the barriers there. That could have been race ending there for Van Hoorn. But he's lost a couple positions as a result. Pryor gets through as well into P13. And Van Hoorn there losing quite a few positions in just a couple corners. He got absolutely swamped there. Another Shrek reference, I guess. Yeah, we've still got Thomas on the back of Hoorn, but we'll bring this back to full screen, see if we can have a look at some more battles as well. We're definitely going to need a helping hand later on, I think for next season, because there's going to be so much more action going on. So yeah, if you are interested in helping out, one way to help out, there's a donation link that I've just pinned in the chat. And also, oh, did we have someone going off in the background? And also we have, well, we will put up application forms for staff as well once the season ends. So if you're interested in either commentating, broadcasting, or just helping out with organising events, then yeah, keep an eye on our Discord as well. And one other way to get involved is by becoming a patron, and we want to thank all our patrons here at the SimZone. We definitely couldn't do it without you guys. Been great having you guys supporting us, covering costs from servers to websites and all the extra things that help us run these leagues. Once again, thank you so much. And little Van Hoorn there on the curb, sparks flying once again, but he's catching back up now through this pack up ahead. We look to Borman, who's actually been, he's on the back of Vining now, so this is an even closer battle than it was beforehand. Looks like, is that the Ferrari of Pool in the background? I think it is. And Borman that last lap, a tenth slower to Vining, but I think Vining's made a mistake this lap, and Borman all over the curb on the inside there, coming through Crocodiles up towards Cheetah now. And this battle is getting closer and closer as we speak. And if these three continue to battle, you can see in the background that's Vitboot not far behind. I believe that was him just exiting, yeah, he's exiting the final corner now. He's really not far behind. And he is lapping in 40, low 41s. Finally currently lapping in the 42s, so yeah, a second slower now. Whether that's his tyres not handling well, or he's just not got the confidence here in the race with the fuel load. But he's holding on to P3, and well, qualifying in P3 as well, well above those behind him. Jan saying Whitburn dropped down the timetables. Yes, looks like he has. He's down in P20. Let's see if we can have a look what happened to Whitburn. He started P13, did Whitburn, but let's have a look at what I mean, he moved up to P7, so he had a great start. And oh, I found out what's happened. There's a bit of contact between Whitburn and Cosford, and yep, it ended in Whitburn into the wall. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be happy with that one at all. We can see here Whitburn, I believe it's coming up towards, is it up towards the hairpin? Or it might have been down towards, no, it's not up towards the hairpin, it was down towards, oh no, it was, where he got stunted from behind and into the wall. That's where he would have lost all those positions, and down into P20 he is now, which is a bit of a shame. He was running so well. Borman now right in the back of Vining here. As we come down the start-finish straight, you don't usually see a Porsche sticking with a Honda on the straights, but he's even going to have a look down the inside into turn one. He's going to have to be later on the brakes, but no, Vining covers him off, and they are bumper to bumper here. Nothing separating them whatsoever. Trying for a switchback was Borman, but it's not going to work out this time around. And let's go on board here with Vining, and on board with Thomas as well. See there, oh, a bit of a mistake there from Vining, and looks like Borman's going to try it through the S's, look towards the outside. He's going to focus on the exit here, coming up towards the hairpin. Thomas is still there, but Vining's going defensive now, coming up towards the hairpin. This could be a good opportunity for a switchback, but Borman trying the outside line, which is the long way around. And Vining still defending the inside there. He's going to hold on. Look how close these two are. This could end in some contact, but looks like Vining's going to go defensive. Borman's going to have to be forced onto the outside line once again. He has to be careful. If he sticks to that outside line, or on the racing line, Thomas is right there, and he can have a chance for an overtake. But look how much speed Vining and Borman carry there. Looks like Thomas now into the pits. That's why he was going a bit slower through the penultimate corner, and he's hoping for an undercut. Yeah, it is Thomas. It's a wise decision, but if he comes out in traffic, possibly going to ruin his chances of an undercut. Let's look down towards P16. Van den Heuvel now defending against Bilotti. Van den Heuvel started in P25. He's moved up 9 positions. Now he had a qualifying ban as well. Looks like we've got Curtin and Taylor into the pits. I think Van den Heuvel's actually got that move done on Bilotti, and now he's going to hunt down Julius Vries in P15. Let's go back to where's Cosford at the moment. He's holding off Seeley here. Is Cosford P7 and P8, these two only separated by a couple tenths. We've still got Borman and Vining battling as well. We've got so many battles going on, and I don't know who to look at the moment. So V's into the pits. It looks like Seeley with a late move down the inside, bit of contact between the two, and it looks like I think that was a bit of racing incident between the two. Seeley's got it going once again, but he's lost the position. No, he hasn't. He's got Pryor now right behind him, putting on some pressure here. But it was a bit close between those two. Seeley tried for a move and it didn't come off well for him. It looks like a bit boot now into the pits. We've still got that battle going on with Borman and Vining, so we're going to have a look at this once again. For that last lap, Vining now into the 140s, so he's got his pace back. Maybe his tyres coming back to him, or he's being pushed here by Borman. And let's take a quick look at their lap times as well. You can see here, Vining that last time a 140.932, and Borman was a 141, pretty much flat there. So sector 1 was where Borman was about 200 slower. Sector 2, Borman was about, well, a tenth slower. And sector 3 he was a bit slower as well, so you can see he's been losing quite a bit of time in sector 2 and sector 3 mostly. Oh, a huge mistake there for Borman, caught the inside curb and he's into the gravels, kept it going though, but look how much time he's lost there to Vining. One mistake and it's all out of the window. Now Vining's got a bit of breathing room, about 4 seconds here. He should be able to hold on to P3, and I'm sure he's going to keep it out for as long as he possibly can, or for as long as his strategy allows, because he's in clean air. He doesn't have to worry about who's behind him now. He can focus on putting in the laps. Now looking at the top two, the gap's only 3.5 seconds. It's not big between the top two either. So Boothby, if he makes a mistake in the pits, which we haven't seen him do all season, he could definitely lose that position. The Campo, on the other hand, has made a few mistakes in the pits, especially when he's been battling with Boothby at the top. And we've got Borman into the pits now. Look down towards P9, Van Hoorn, who's on the back of Pryor there. Looks like we've got another Aston. I believe that is Curtin, who's already made his mandatory pit stop. Yep, it's Curtin who's already made his pit stop there, right behind, so he's not involved in this battle. Humble Racer saying his phone keeps dropping signal. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it's currently Pryor, followed by Van Hoorn, as we go on to lap 15 now of the race. But Farquhar Is he close? Looks like he is close to Barone. We'll quickly switch to them as well, if we can find them on circuit. Oh, where are they? Where are they on track? There we go, we found them. The two Mercedes battling for position here. Barone just up ahead, and McFarquhar currently... What lap time is McFarquhar doing? He is in the 144s at the moment. Barone 147 that last time around, so that's a huge mistake there from Barone. Not sure if he lost the car, but he's now being pressured here by McFarquhar behind. I know there's quite a bit of support in the comments for McFarquhar as well. Got to the gap opening up between those two now. I think it might just be a bit of concertina effect. You can see that the gap just fluctuating between them. But this battle's still going on strong between Pryor and Van Hoorn. Van Hoorn's really putting on the pressure there. A bit of oversteer on the exit for Van Hoorn. He's lost so much time. That's going to allow Pryor to pull away now. Will Van Hoorn dive into the pit, or he's going to keep it out on track? No, he's going to keep it out on track. That is Van Hoorn. Pryor likewise doing the same. Could have been a good opportunity there for Van Hoorn to dive into the pits, considering he already lost time and lost exit speed out of the penultimate corner as well. But he wants to hunt down Pryor here, and you can see, well, what's happened to McFarquhar? He's actually losing time now to Barone. The gap between those two, 1.5 seconds. Looks like Bilotti is on the back of McFarquhar now. Bilotti in P10 currently. Closing the gap. These two within a second of each other. Still yet to pit. We've still got the top 10 who have to pit. We've got Barth in P14 and Kennedy yet to pit as well. Let's look further down the field just momentarily. Mickey Taylor there in P26. Poulin still yet to pit. And Osh yet to pit. Oh, Poulin dives to the pits now. Let's see. Has he got it through? Yes, he has. It's a very tricky pit lane here at Kyalami. Those that raced here in our championship already, or raced it before, definitely know how tricky it can be. Especially with getting the car slowed down through the penultimate corner. Looking at P19 now, V's is on the back of Van den Heuvel. Looks like he's just come out of the pits as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he has just come out of the pits, so one of these two have. And we've still got McFarquhar ending off Bilotti here. It's Mercedes versus Aston for P9 at the moment. He's started P26. Yeah, he was one of those who had a qualifying ban for today. Seeley, I believe, starts the pit as well. He's currently running in P5. Yeah, he's still got to pit, does Seeley. And Van Hoorn now catching up to Pryor once again. We've got so many battles going on. I have no idea who to look at. We've also got a battle going on for P25. Clayton involved in a bit of a battle here with Taylor. Looks like Clayton's going to have to do some defending. Now we're over halfway into the race. It's gone by pretty quickly, in fact. Usually it's, well, yeah, no, it always really goes quickly, but 5 minutes in, about 5 minutes in, I'm saying how many battles have we got going on? And I look at the timer and it feels like half an hour has passed, but it looks like Poulin moving out the way for some of the cars. I believe Poulin is a lap down, so, yeah, good job to him for moving out the way of the lead cars. Clayton holding on now, pulling away from Taylor, in fact, is Clayton. That last lap, Clayton did a 1:45.3. Taylor is a 1:44.5. He definitely has the pace on paper, but can he pull it off? Can he get this position done? And all Clayton onto the brakes there. You don't usually see drivers use the brakes in this section of the track, but he got a bit of oversteer on the exit. That's possibly why he had to slam on the brakes. And as a result, you can see the closing speed of Taylor's right in the back of Clayton once again. But let's have a look now at some other battles. We've got so many drivers battling for position today. Vries and Van den Heuvel all in this battle now. We're going to quickly switch, see if we can get that battle up between Clayton and Taylor up as well. There we go. It does look like they're side by side, but they're not. Just the perspective of the camera. It looks like Van den Heuvel now thinking about defending. You can see that he's turning in a bit earlier than usual to cover off the inside. But is it going to be a late move there from today? He thinks of it. Backs out of the move. There's not much space on the inside there. And Van den Heuvel now going extremely defensive, but he's put himself in a bad position. Oh, contact there between the two. Van den Heuvel jumping over the sausage curb, and Vries is going to come through. It's pretty much a mirror image or mirror incident of what we saw with Pryor early on. The two cars ahead of him made a bit of contact. They jumped over the sausage curb, and no, it looked like a bit of a racing incident there. Today, flashing his lights. Oh, he's got them off now. I'd advise turning them on. There we go. Yeah, no, it looked like just a bit of a racing incident between the two. It's a brave move to go around the outside. And it looks like with a lunge down the inside there from today, a great move down the inside. Up into P19 he goes. And he can focus on hunting down Vries just up ahead, who we just saw earlier run a bit wide with sparks flying from underneath his car. And we've also got now another battle. Who do I watch? And oh, looks like Taylor with a move down the inside. He tried it, but didn't come off well there for him. He stays in E26. We're going to have to see if we can find some more drivers out on track. We've got Kennedy there defending from Van Hoorn. In fact, they're on different strategies at the moment, so not really any battling going on between those two. Oh, looks like a great move there from today down the inside. And Vries couldn't do anything to fend him off here. We look to Vries now. No, we don't. There we go. Now we look to Vries. We'll bring up some more battles now on the grid. We've got Vining in P6, followed by Borman. These two have been battling since the start of the race. Thomas, though, with the early pit stop, has pulled off the undercut. He's 3 seconds ahead of Vining and Borman. So that undercut has worked wonders for him. And with Celia and Pryor yet to pit, that's going to move him up into P3, I think. So a great strategy call there from Thomas. Getting 2 positions done in the pit stops. That's a masterclass there from Thomas. Now, Boothby and DeCampo have served their pit stops. DeCampo's 5.5 seconds behind Boothby, and look how close Borman gets there under braking, coming through Crocodile. Donatas in the comments saying he's out 40 seconds of damage. Wow, unable to concentrate. That's a shame. Worst performance ever. Nah, it's all right. Still got another round to go. We all have bad races. Not all clean sailing or perfect sailing for everyone. It looks like Bilotti in P18. Oh, what's happened to Van den Heuvel? He's down into... Oh, he is in P18, and Bilotti there onto the gravel we just saw. And it looks like Barth now into the pits for his mandatory stop. I think Bilotti tried for a move, but it's a bit too late on the brakes there. Taylor and Clayton still battling for position as well. We'll go back to Borman and Vining, who are neck and neck at the moment. You can see there's nothing separating the two. Struggling for a way to get past. He's got the pace, it seems like. But yeah, getting past is a whole different story. But he's been placing his car exactly where he needs to, and he just hasn't allowed Hoorn for any opportunity, which is exactly what you need to do if you're inviting his position. And there's a battle going on for P15. It seems like. Looks like today he's got a drive-through penalty as well. So well, that battle he's in isn't really going to matter. Brown's flashing his lights as well, so maybe a bit of an incident between those two. What other battles have we got going on? Looks like everyone a bit spaced out now. We've got where's Taylor and Clayton? They are still neck and neck, in fact. Really close, these two. And we'll quickly bring, in fact, let's bring them up like this. There we go. Taylor still on the back of Clayton here. Clayton very deep there into turn one. He's going to now take a narrow line there through turn two. But Taylor able to capitalise on that mistake. Looks like they've got Sealy coming through now. Sealy has served his pit stop. So these two are going to have to move off the racing line and let them through. In the comments, also known as Lager for those on console, saying that onboard of the Porsche chasing the Honda looks epic. Awesome racing. Yeah, there's been some great racing so far. Really good racing at Kyalami. And this track just does that. It just brings some great racing here. And Taylor with a move down the inside there. He's attempted it, but he's forced Clayton to go really deep on the brakes and got that job done as Taylor, and the upper position he goes back on board here with the Porsche of Hoorn. We've also got another battle going on between Bilotti, Van den Heuvel and Traction Dave. We're going to have to switch over to them. In fact, we found them already. So here we go, we've got this three-car battle going on. Van den Heuvel ending off Bilotti at the moment. Traction Dave is down in P18 at the moment. I believe he was further up the order. Let's have a look. P18. Yeah, he started P7. He's lost 11 positions. So he's either had the drive-through penalty or he's had a bit of contact earlier on in the race that we weren't aware of. So you're still on board with Hoorn. He's just not been able to find a way past, and now we go trackside and get this view up as well. Looks like a Bilotti with a move around the outside here. It's a difficult move to make coming into turn one. Can he do it, or is he going to concede that position to Traction Dave, who looks like he's going to get it done there, capitalising on that well, I want to say mistake from Bilotti, but I don't think it was a mistake, and now they're having to get past Dave Pullen there. Back marker's moved well out of the way, which is great to see. And in fact, we've got the same battle up twice, which wasn't meant to happen. Let's get back to these two. There we go, that's better. And it looks like we've got yellow flags out on track. Has there been an incident? Looks like, no, Kennedy into the pits. Oh, what's happened? Has he got a drive-through penalty? I think he must have either got a stop-go or a drive-through penalty, because he's already served his stop. And it looks like Bilotti trying around the outside once more on Van den Heuvel. Is he going to make it stick? They are side by side here, rubbing doors at the moment. There's nothing separating these two, and surely one of them's going to have to back out. Looks like Bilotti trying around the outside, coming through Mineshaft, up towards Crocodile. Looks like he's going to get this done, is Bilotti. There we go, he's got it done, and he's made it stick. And it doesn't look like Van den Heuvel's going to be able to get a move done here into Cheetah. There we have it. Bilotti making that move on Van den Heuvel, and let's have a look. Did Kennedy have a drive-through? No. Wonder what's happened. Today has just served his drive-through penalty. I wonder what's happened to Kennedy. Oh, he's got some severe damage does Kennedy. That's a real shame there. And he's dropping down the order now. Let's see if we can have a look at what exactly happened to him. He has some severe damage at the moment. Did he lose it on his own, or... Oh, in fact, it doesn't look like he got any damage coming into the pits. No, he hasn't got any damage, sorry. That's just, Yeah, no, he hasn't got any damage. So I think that's just the livery. I'm not entirely sure what's happened there to Kennedy. It might have been fuel. That's the only other thing I can think about. But it looks like we've got the Witvert, on the back of Walker. We've got Osford on the back of Pryor, which we can bring up now. I don't know who to watch. We'll flick off this battle between Borman and Fining at the moment, because they've pretty much just been following each other around at the moment. We've still got Barone, V's, and Dave battling for position. Let's quickly go to Pryor. No. Walker and Victor have now separated as well. They're about second from each other. Still there or thereabouts, but Pryor and Cosford very, very close as we speak here. Now, looks like we're going to have to switch this battle between Chuck and Dave and Chris V's. Looks like Dave has got that moved on V's there. Up into P14 he goes. And Barone now has been able to pull away from these two with them battling. And I'm sure Barone, well, seeing the Porsche of Dave in his rearview mirror, going to be quite daunting for him. Dave is a very, very quick driver, as we know, and he's currently lapping quicker than Barone. 141s for Traction Dave and 145s for Barone. So if he is consistent, well, if he's still lapping 4 seconds quicker a lap, then, well, I think Dave's not going to have much problem getting past Barone here. We've still got Borman and Vining just separated by 4 tenths. Once again, very close between those two. Dave is now putting on the pressure to Barone as well. Only about 15 minutes left of this race to go now. See there as well, that is... Oh, Vitvert is caught back up to Walker, but Cosford not able to find a way past Pryor just yet. Cosford's got a bit of damage in the front of that Porsche, so something has happened there. Maybe a bit of contact with another car, or maybe even with the wall. Cosford started in P9, so he's now in P11. Lost a couple of positions, but it's not a huge deal. We'll time the race to make those places back, and Dave looking for a move around the outside here coming into Sunset. Barone going defensive, and can Dave find the inside line coming up towards the next corner? No, he can't. Barone moves back over to the racing line, staying slightly defensive there. And look at this, how close they are. Now with them battling, V's is going to catch back up, Bilotti's going to catch back up, because they are also lapping quicker than Barone is. So Barone a bit quicker this time around, 142.6. And it looks like it's going to, whoa, very late on the brakes there from Barone, coming through the hairpin, and Dave has got that move done, forced Barone into an error, and there we have it. Upper position into P13 goes Dave, and now it might mean that V's is not able to catch back up to these two, and likewise same goes for Bilotti. But look at Pryor, they're going really defensive coming up towards turn 1. He's got Cosford right on the back of him as we speak. Is Cosford going to have a look down the inside? He is. Pryor's going to leave him a bit of room on the inside because Cosford's nose was still there, but looks like Cosford now is going to focus on the better exit coming up towards Sunset. Maybe even a switchback here. Looks like they're going to be side by side now, coming up towards Sunset. It's going to be a drag race here, but no, looks like Pryor holds the inside line and, well, moves back over to racing line even. And holds on to that position. So great battling there between those two. Let's have a look at the race leader, Boothby, who's currently in P1, or still in P1. He's now got an 8-second lead to De Campo. And looking at the gap between Thomas and Vining, that's down to 1.3 seconds. The Vining has been closing up to Thomas now. Thomas, is he losing a bit of pace? That last time around, a 141 flat from Thomas, and from Vining a 140.5. So maybe Thomas hasn't changed his tyres. In fact, let's bring up the pit stop times to have a look, so we can judge exactly what has happened. And if Thomas hasn't changed his tyres, Thomas with a 56-second pit stop. No, I think he has changed his tyres, so maybe just struggling, maybe the tyres wearing off now towards the end of the race. Barone, oh, Barone there, there's some heavy damage. What has happened to him? Looks like he's, yeah, he's going to return the car to the pits, no surprise there, carrying that amount of damage. But yeah, Vining catching up to Thomas. Foreman losing a bit of time now to Vining as well. Foreman and Vining were neck and neck, saw earlier. Yeah, we're going to try and see what exactly happened there to Barone. Looks like Julius V's there. Oh, Bilotti's got a move done on V's down the inside of turn 1. No, they're still side by side here, coming up towards turn 3 or turn 4 even. And V's has held on there to P14. On an attempted overtake from Bilotti. Bilotti, oh, he's poked his nose down the inside. They're coming through Sunset. It hasn't phased V's whatsoever. The sparks look really good in the night time. Not sure how good they look from the driver behind, getting a face full of sparks. But yeah, we've still got Pryor and Cosford battling for position. A huge mistake there from V's. A bit of a wiggle on the exit, and he's lost that position now to Bilotti. Moves up into P14, and that's that for that battle. Go back to Vining now, who is on the back of Thomas. These three are going to be even closer now towards the end of this race in the final 10 minutes. But before we go any further, we're going to try and bring up a replay of what happened to Barone. Saw that heavy damage he got. Whether he lost it on his own or not, I have no idea. But let's hope there wasn't any contact, because he did have Dave following him very closely behind, if I'm not mistaken. No, in fact, Dave got that move done before, but I think he did lose it by himself. Oh yes, I found out. Oh, what a shame for Barone. That's a real shame. Yeah, we're going to bring up the replay now. But you can see there Barone. In fact, let's get a different camera angle. You can see here Barone coming through Sunset. Gets a huge snap of oversteer. You can see here, tries to overcorrect, and right into the wall there. It's like a magnet, that wall, and he's completely sucked into it. And yeah, that damage was pretty much race ending for Barone. That's a real shame. He was running so well up until that point. Switch back to this battle. It's Pryor, followed by Cosford, then Van Hoorn, P10, P11 and P12, all battling for position at the moment. And do we still have Kennedy out on track after his... I believe he returned on track after Well, it could have been fuel. I think we'll ask him what happened, in fact, after the race. Fastest lap still with Boothby a 1:39.652. Oh, finding flying over that sausage curb there on the inside through the penultimate corner. That's lost him heaps of time to Thomas, and that's put Borman right at the back of Vining once again. This is going to give Thomas some more time, some more breathing room. Maybe pull away from these two behind him, or at least maintain that gap. And we can see just up ahead, that is Whitburn and Van den Heuvel battling for position. Looks like Van den Heuvel holding on. Who on earth do I look at with these battles? I have no idea. But no, Whitburn's got that move done on Van den Heuvel. Up into P16 he goes. Now Whitburn, we saw, had, well, a bit of a collision early on. He started P13, moved up to, I believe it was P7. But he's now down into P16, which isn't too bad. Only 3 positions lost since his starting position, which was P13. Now you can see there Van den Heuvel moving out the way for the lead cars. And Whitman's going to have to do the same very shortly. We can also see on our second stream, Gosford's still in the back of Pryor, hasn't found a way past, and he's keeping an eye on Van Horn behind him as well. But Gosford is really struggling to find a way past at the moment. He's got the pace, but there's just nowhere that Matt Pryor is letting him through. And it looks like we've got yellow flags out on track somewhere. Let's have a look what's happened. Poulin has lost the car there. He's got it going once again, and like I said, we've just seen so many drivers losing the car in that specific corner before sunrise. It is a very, very deadly corner, but he's got it going once again, and doesn't look like he's picked up too much damage either, which is good to see. I'll go back to Borman in P5. Closing the gap to Vining once again. They've got a bit of traffic in front of them. I think that's Whitburn there. He's just going to let the lead cars through. We're back on board with Borman for this battle. Like I said earlier, the Porsche's aiming to get much later on the brakes than the other cars, but now Vining, he's just maintained that gap to Borman. Still about 8 tenths, yeah, still 8 tenths between these two. But Vining and Vining not really closing the gap to Thomas either. It's been fluctuating from about a second to 1.3 seconds. Thomas as well, just managing that gap to the cars behind him, upping quite consistently, but oh, it looks like it's dropped down to a second. It's not fluctuating anymore. So a bit of grass there, a bit of dirt in the air as well, so they may be catching up now to Thomas up ahead. All Thomas has to do is hold off the cars behind him for just another 4 minutes of the race. Well, I'd say just another 4. Oh no, there's been contact between Thomas and one of the back markers there. So I believe that was V's in P16. What happened there? It was V's. And oh no, it's not the commentator's curse, is it? Looks like they've both picked up lots of damage. Thomas there in P5. Yeah, it looks like he can't even keep the car straight at the moment. That's how much damage he's got on the car. Let's bring up a replay of what happened, because there is some serious damage between the two, and Thomas is not going to be happy with that. He is running so well until the last few moments. And I think Thomas just has a bad curse with the back markers, to be honest. He has not had much luck with back markers throughout the season. Oh, I think I've just seen what's happened. Yeah, Thomas is the bits. I don't really think it was any fault of the back marker, unfortunately. Just having a look at it now. We'll get a helicopter view of the incident. And here we go, just bringing it up. You can see that on board with Thomas just coming through Sunset Corner now. He's there driving very slow. He's obviously got some damage, and Thomas tries to get past, gets on the curb, and bang, into the wall he goes. He's had the damage previously, so it wasn't from any contact there between the back marker and Thomas. Yeah, I'm not sure there's much V's could have done. I think the only thing he really could have done was move out the way earlier, but yeah, I think Thomas just got a bit unlucky there. It's a bit of bad timing going on. That's how quickly a race can be ended. Such a shame there for Thomas. That would have been such a great result, especially with that that undercut he did. And I did say all he had to do was defend for a few more minutes. And of course, when I say all he has to do, when I say something good, something bad happens. That's yeah, really annoying. We still got Thomas on the back, with Cosford on the back of Pryor. Van Hoorn now still on the back of these two as well. So it's a 3-car battle ongoing for P9, and Van Hoorn's really going to want to get into that top 10 or a top 10 finish here at Kyalami. Borman and Vining just separated by a second. Not a whole lot going there at the moment. Could come down to the wire between these two. We just have to wait and see what happens. We've got Curtin in P16 now on the back of Van der Hoover. Thomas back out on track. That was actually a quick pit stop there. It would have been much longer, but he's emerged in P17, which isn't too bad. But compared to where he was, it's a lot of places down. But of course we have a drop round. And if Thomas finishes in P17, I don't actually think this will be his drop round. I think he's finished lower in the championship already. Let's see. Yeah, P20 was his worst finish. That was at round 2. Round 2 being Donington, yeah, where he also had a bit of a entanglement with some back markers. But it looks like he's now battling for position. If you can get a couple more positions in this last lap. In fact, where is the race leader, Boothby? He is going through Sunset now, so yeah, this is the last lap. In fact, if you can get a couple positions now, it'll just be damage limitation here for him, and whoa. Van der Hoover lost the car there. But it was just a bit of connection issues between the two. A bit of door rubbing there between the two on the straights. They're coming into turn 1. Van der Hoover very deep on the brakes, and Thomas is going to get that switchback done. Textbook move there. He goes up into P15. You know, you can just tell he's out of position. He's making overtakes like they're standing still. Yeah, up into P15 he goes. Van der Hoover still now defending from Curtin. In fact, Cosford Van Hoorn and Pryor still there in that 3-car battle. That's been going on for a while, and we're going to have to bring this up on the main screen. Cannot miss this. In fact, we have to wait for Boothby, who crosses the line. Just got that in time. In P1 for another race win here at Kyalami. He's pretty much now taken the championship lead, or the championship win, in fact. There we go. Parks it on the side, and among the mist, you can see him there in P1. The camper there parks alongside Boothby there, finishing P2. Finding is going to hold on here as he rounds the final corner to finish P3. Borman's lost loads of time there, so I think he's made a massive error. But vying for his best finish of the season is going to finish in P3, a podium here in the penultimate round. Borman's still got a bit to go. He's going to round the final corner now to finish P4. Great race from Borman as well. Started P4, finished P4 for Vining. Started P3, finished P3. Walker, though, started P10 and is up into P5. What a race from Walker. What a race from Seeley, in fact, as well. Starting from the back of the grid, up into P6. Great race from both those Aston Martins. And looks like Victory's going to cross the line in P7 for another great race from him as well. Giovanni still got a bit to go. No, coming up towards the final corner now. He's going to finish in P8. And we've got a bit of, well, those flares, whatever they are, all over the track now. Yep, Giovanni is going to cross the line in P8. Pryor is going to cross the line in P9. He's just going to hold on here. And Cosford in P10 and Van Hoorn in P11. We'll be back very shortly for well, some interviews between the drivers. What great racing we've had here at Kyalami. Stick with us because we'll be back very shortly. Right, so we're going to get some interviews with the drivers then. Or, well, second to last time. Got one more round to go, of course, here. But let's move over. George, there we go. Well, that scares me.
Hello.
Hello, how was that race? I mean, you started P2 in quali, of course. And then, well, got that move done very early on, which I was quite surprised with, actually. But yeah, then pulled away. And yeah, P1 for you, and pretty much the championship win. So yeah, congrats, and tell us how you're feeling.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I absolutely love Kyalami. This is like, I think of all the tracks of the game, this is the one that just, what I enjoy driving the most, and the track where I can sort of extract time from. So, I knew quali was going to be quite difficult because the Porsche is like notoriously really quick here in quali trim. So I knew if the Campo like obviously gets a really good lap, he could get pole, and he did a really good lap. Like for the fast track, like his lap was so good. So like massive respect for that. And then in terms of the race, I mean, I knew I might have a little bit more race pace because it's in the race the Porsche loses maybe like a tenth or two. It's still a bit quicker, I think, but I was quite confident in just my setup and everything here. And yeah, it was just a little bit slow at the start. I'm not sure why, because he did pick up the pace eventually, but either maybe nerves or just like getting a feel for this race setup. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just saw an opportunity and sent it, and it was super clean, super like fair as well. So yeah, really happy with the move. And then I just started like pushing like an idiot to try and get some good laps, and I don't know what has happened for me today, but today it's like, this is never going to happen again. This is like probably the best day I've had of driving. Like before this race, I was doing some LFMs, and like, I don't know what has happened. I think someone's replaced my hands today. It's never going to happen again. Tomorrow, the first race I do, I'm going to crash probably, or something really bad is going to happen. Like, there's no way. But I don't know. Maybe I need to do the same morning routine as I did today. I don't get it. But I'm just really happy with how that race went and the pace, and yeah, with the championship as well. So I think I can drop the next round. So
yeah,
but I'm not going to. I'm going to be there. But yeah, so I'm going to be given the wheel, but as a prize. Obviously, I've got like a SimuCube setup, and
yeah,
you know, I feel like it'd just be wasted on me. Like, so my plan is to just give it away to someone from the stream or Twitter. I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but yeah, I'm going to give the prize away to someone who does need it. So yeah,
that's a nice thing.
I'm excited about that. Yeah, so thank you guys for offering that as a prize, because it's an awesome prize, really awesome.
Well, we have to thank our sponsors, MOZA Racing, really, for that prize. And well, going into the last round now, are we going to see a last to first challenge? We have to, surely.
The thing is, right, it's the fact that like every round, like I've managed to win, which is like I've never done that before. So I either go for the full sweep or last to first, but I think last to first would be fun.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think your chat is gonna love it as well.
Yeah, I think we might do that. We'll see.
Right. Well, next round is Brown Touch as well, so it will be even tougher for a last to first. I think over there, it being so narrow. But
yeah, it might be a bit difficult, but yeah, we'll see what happens. It's all for fun, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anyways, great having you back, and congrats on the championship as well. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week.
Hey, thank you so much, man. And also, giving us that info of that next championship with the prizes is pretty mental. I think you might see quite a lot of people show up if that's one of the prizes. So
let's hope.
Yeah, really exciting stuff. So thank you all so much, and for hosting this, and yeah, just cheers.
Yeah, no worries. It's a pleasure.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. There we have it, ladies and gents. I think that's the only interview we're going to get today. Yeah, looks like it is. But we will be live once again on Sunday for the final round of the PS5 GT3 Championship, where we are on Indianapolis, which is quite a tricky circuit. The Ferrari is going to be a quick round there. But make sure to tune in then at 8 PM as well. But from us, it's good night.